Hello. Hey guys, it's DeAnn Dillard at the Real Estate Success Podcast. And today I'm welcoming Nick Krem, my buddy in the Honey Badger Nation. And Nick is the real estate advisor, content advisor to top 1% of agents all over the world. He mentors over 7,900 agents in 13 countries and all 50 states. Craziness.
DeAnn, I just want to say that one shot of you walking out with the golf club, that was pretty baller. I was looking at that and it just fit well. I'm like, that's nice. That's a good look.
Well, I appreciate that. And in case you guys didn't know, Nick is responsible for putting together that whole thing. So we'll chat about that. But yeah, thanks for being here.
Man, thank you so much for being on. I've been seeing you doing these podcasts. I've been seeing you going live. It looks phenomenal. You're doing an amazing job with it. Just appreciate you having me on here with you.
Absolutely. It's super fun. And I really appreciate all your help. So tell us, you're doing incredible things right now.
Okay.
And I've been having a lot of fun watching you and following you. So tell the listeners out there, how did you get your start in real estate?
Ooh, that's a fun story. So, I started doing the thing that all agents love to do. I was on the phone for 15 hours a day.
Oh, yeah.
Agents love being on the phone, right?
All day.
All day. But I was literally calling at 8 a.m. on the East Coast to 8 p.m. on the West Coast, right? I did that for about 4 months straight. And I'll tell you what, that took a lot out of me. But at the same time, I learned. You name a CRM, I was in the back end of it. You name a differentiating factor, I learned it. You name a value proposition, I pitched it. You name a brand strategy, I learned it. And not only learned it, I saw which ones actually work. Because, I also learned this. You name a shiny object, I saw it, right? So many things out there that these agents thought would change their entire business, and it really didn't do anything. It took agents a lot of time, energy, and effort to try and implement it, and that's all it was a shiny object. So for me, from there, I got started into seeing what actually works for agents and helping them use those tools. Because I understood, just because in theory it works doesn't mean in the real world it will work. So the brand strategies and everything that I do now is based around what is the minimal effective dose that I can give agents, not have you learn technology and have technology work for you. That's what it was here for, right?
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. So you're on the phone and like you said, I talk to agents all the time who are like, I don't want to make phone calls. Right. But that's our whole business is based on that. So you got a great education. So is that how you got started in helping people with content and branding?
Yeah, great question. So, from on the phones, and I started managing a lot of the company, started doing some coaching calls. And it wasn't until, I started sitting in rooms with people like Jay Kinder, Mike Reese, Al Stasic, and they always told me, if you could solve our problems, you could solve a lot of people's problems, right? And it's not about coming up with this great idea. It's about solving a problem. I was already doing my own videos at that time. I started working a little bit more on what videos to work with other agents. And then my business partner, who's actually my brother, who's here with me, we came together and we realized, man, all the things I'm doing, he was great at systematizing, putting in the package, putting everything together. I'm great at coming up with figuring out what actually works and the concept. We partnered up and we started solving the problem, systematizing it, and offering these services to other people too. Because like I said, I had the IQ of being in real estate. Look, people can throw around their longevity in real estate, but I'll tell you what, when you're on the phones 15 hours a day, when you're literally, my job was I was managing over 70 clients at one time, hearing all of their problems, figuring out all their solutions, what they're doing in branding. I learned it really, really quick, right? So I was able to see firsthand what's working, what's not, and saying, all right, here's how we can help more agents.
That's pretty incredible. So you said you're partners with your brother. Is he also in real estate?
He's not licensed. I'm the licensed one, but he's been working. He's been in real estate for the past 6 years as well. So been in the industry. He was working recruiting calls with actually John Sheplack. He was the caller with Sheplack. And he was, that's how he got started, really.
Wow.
He was great on the phones. And I'll tell you what, talk about inauguration by fire. Working with Sheplack right at the beginning. That's a great way to get started, right? Start right at the top. And, so he's been in real estate with me since the beginning. I'm on his own and then with me as well. And, we just really realized, you do a lot of the things that I'm not great at, and I do a lot of things that you're not so great at. And, even if I'm an 8 out of 10 at what he's good at, he's a 10 out of 10 and he enjoys it, right? I think that's important too, to really figure out what am I a 10 out of 10 at and what do I enjoy 10 out of 10? And I'm only sticking in those boxes. I'll hire people for everything else.
Right. And partnership, that's super important.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've never seen your brother's face.
Then we're doing something right.
Right? Because I see you all the time. Every time I pick up my phone, there's Nick going live again. And this mysterious brother. Yeah, I've never heard.
Oh, yeah. See, look, you're already pulling things out of me on this podcast. That means you're doing a good job.
Right. So let's talk about 2022, New Year. I love New Year. What do you think agents should be doing right now with their content?
Man, what should they be doing? They should be doing it, number one. You know, like a lot of times too, and it's not even just about content, it's about video content. Because, you know, real estate's what we do. It's not who we are. And people hire us for who we are. Right. So making sure that we get on video just like you, making sure that you're consistently getting on video. I like to call social media like a social media highway. You go live and do one video once a month. It's like putting a billboard in a cul-de-sac. Doesn't really do anything, right? Yeah. You got to do it consistently to be on that highway all the time. Everybody always talks about, you know, if I can give people some quick concepts. The first one is don't worry about how long your video is, right? So many times we're sitting out here like, oh, it's got to be a minute. It's got to be 5 minutes. It's got to be 10 minutes. Look, I sat down and watched a 3-hour movie because it was entertaining. You give people value, they will stay and they will watch. We also talk about like, man, what time should I post? Right. And I'll tell you what, if I post at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, I'm going to beat the person who posted at 8 a.m. Period. I'm going to win. So it's not about what time. It's not about how long. The only question you say is how many. The answer is never enough.
People get caught up in the details, right?
Yes, because, you know, they buy these courses that explain all these details. How to be a perfect person online. You know what? My thing is good, better, best. Good is the best. I will go out there and put out more content, more consistently. That's authentic. And I'll beat somebody who posts that one perfect video once a month.
Were you ever apprehensive about shooting live video or shooting video?
Absolutely. I still am sometimes. You know, it's one of those things where I don't think I'm ever completely comfortable doing it, but that's also the reason I do like it because it gets me out of my comfort zone. For me, it was once I became confident in the concepts that I was doing and knowing I'm doing the right thing, because I think that's what holds back a lot of agents. We work so hard at becoming an expert. When we go in front of people, we want to be an expert, right? Also put the camera in front of your face. We don't feel like experts. And then you buy a course and you become more confused than when you started, like before you even bought the course. And now you feel even like less than an expert. Once I created a simple solution, not just for myself, because that's the thing. I just solved my own problems first. And then I was able to help other people solve it. Making videos simple and efficient. Then it became more fun.
Yeah. So I heard you say somewhere about your social CRM. What's that about?
So I think it's the difference between social media and your social CRM, right? Like what's the purpose and intention of coming onto these different platforms? Social media is for the people who want to consume. Your social CRM, just think about this. My feed is my drip campaign. Because, I mean, look, you're my email campaign. So, you know, I'm not saying don't do emails, right?
Oh, you are the biggest pro at email campaigns. I'll tell you that.
So, you know, I'm not saying not to email and I'm not saying not to make calls. I feel like I won't get too big into this concept. You ever see an ad that tells you to drop the phone and only run ads? Don't do them. Don't listen to them. That's a shiny object. If someone's telling you not to pick up your phone in real estate, they're not in real estate. You got to pick up the phone.
Right.
So back to the social CRM, my drip campaign is my feed. What else can you do on a CRM? You can message people. What can you do on any social media output? You can message people. You could call people right from Facebook. You could call people right from Instagram. You can send videos. You can do essentially everything that you can do in your CRM, you can do in your social CRM. So coming into with that intention, I'm going to come in there. I'm going to do a drip campaign. I'm going to message some of my clients. I'm going to friend them first. I'm going to message some of my clients. I'm going to comment on my potential clients' posts, and I'm out. I'm not there to consume. I am there to turn that into a money-making machine. In order to do that, we have to do it intentionally.
Okay. We shouldn't just be sitting there scrolling through the content.
Well, not if you want to use it right.
Yeah, I heard you say that people are on social media for 2 reasons, right?
Yeah, because they're lazy. Oh, wait, no.
See, I quote Nick Krem all the time.
I love it. So what was that? I'm going to let you take this one. I know what you're about to say.
Nick Krem says there's 2 reasons people are on social media. 1 is because they're lazy and 2 is because they're bored.
Yes, they're lazy and bored. Nobody says, man, I'm having so much fun right now. I'm going to scroll through Facebook. Right?
Exactly.
Like that doesn't happen. And it's important for us to understand that. Look, if I shoot a video, here are 3 reasons to move into your home faster. I'm more bored. I'm scrolling even faster through it. Right.
That's true. Okay, so that is boring, right?
Yeah.
So what do you suggest in place of that?
Here's a great one. Interviews. Bring people on who are exciting. Bring people on who are doing great things. Exactly what you're doing.
Okay.
Just something else to really keep in mind too. Another way to entertain, Google the top 10 most interesting place in your city. Go and shoot your videos there. Why? One of the hardest things to do is get people to stop and watch your video. And also, if I'm living I'm from Cleveland. So if somebody posts a video like in my hometown, I don't care if it's the worst video in the world. I'm going to stop and watch. I'm like, oh, I know that place. I want to see what's happening in my city. So if I shoot my videos there, people are going to instantly stop and watch. And then here's another thing with that too. If we're worried about what we look like and what we sound like, having a cool background is a great way to take the attention off of us, right? So I don't feel like, look, they're looking at the background. They're not even looking at you. They're just taking in the words you're saying.
That's awesome. You're really good at that. I see you all over the place and I'm like, where is Nick now?
That's something else it does too. If I shoot my videos in the same spot every time, people are going to get bored because like, oh, there's Nick again in this studio. So, we'll be in Colorado. We'll be in all these different places. I'll always make sure I got my camera out. I was just in the mountains. So I make sure I scooted over to a good view of the mountains, posted up and did a video over there.
Yeah. And you go live, right?
Absolutely. Well, and here's something else with videos. Never go back and watch your videos. Don't do it. Because all that is going to do is you're going to pick your video apart. You're going to pick it down to a T. And then you're going to do this thing and you're going to become paralyzed. Because then you're going to be thinking of all the things you did wrong in your next video. And you're going to be so scared to go live that it's just not going to happen. Never go back and watch your videos. I know you might say, but how will I get better? Look, at the end of the live, these little things that you could have done better. Stick with that and keep going. If you go back and rewatch it, it will do no good for you or your business because it will stop you from doing the next one. And on top of that too, don't sit there and edit it to pieces. Repurposing is different, like what you're doing to chop it up. But if you go back and take this original and say, I have to edit it down, it does you no good.
That's funny. When I first started doing social years ago, it would take me 20 takes.
Yes.
I would look at it and go, oh, my hair. Oh, I made a face, right? But I wouldn't go live. I wouldn't go live because I was like, oh my gosh, what if I go live and then I look weird and I have to see that forever and it's out there, right?
Yeah.
Now I could care less whatever is going on. I think it's people appreciate that more, the reality of where you're at and what you're doing. So
as my man Dave Finale says, the imperfection is the connection. Those little things that you mess up on, your hair's not always perfect. Someone will be like, man, neither is my hair. And they'll respect you so much more for it. They'll have that relationship, right? You mess up in a video and you say, crap, other people, and that's a good terminology that would use, right? I've done videos. I actually did a blooper reel. And it was basically me cussing for a solid 2 minutes.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, that was one of my first big videos. And I was dropped a couple F-bombs in that one.
Yeah, I've done that. And then I'll send them to my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to tell you a funny story. Last week, a guy I used to work with called me out of the blue and he's like, hey, I was looking at your social media and I want to know what is that website that you have a link to? And I'm like, oh, that's my content cards. And he's like, wow, it's so cool. I love how you got a spot for buyers and for sellers and for agents. And he's like, how do I get a website like that? And I went through, I'm like, pick up your phone, click on my link. I said, scroll to the bottom and see that little button that says get a website like mine.
Yeah.
Like, click on that. It's literally like $20 a month.
Yeah.
So that was all thanks to you. Way before I even knew you, you got me on that. I don't know how. But share about that a little bit and how that came about.
Yeah. So, it came back to, again, that was the first company that I created by myself. And so that was about more than 3 years ago now, just about 3 years. And, it came down to, again, working with J, Mike, and Al. I'll never forget the one time we shot, I think there was a webinar that was shot. And then I got lost in all of our emails to a point where we couldn't find this 40-minute webinar. And we're like, all right, there's got to be a better way. Right. They went to send it to an agent and they couldn't even find it. And we're like, you know what? We need to put all this, there's so many amazing tools. In an average agent's life, how many links do you have to remember? How many videos do you have to remember? So we're like, all right, let's put this in one singular place. And then we looked at the places that was either free or low cost. And it would be for us, it would be if content cards was the biggest name at the top and a bunch of our links and ads popping up. And then little itty bitty Nick Krem. And I'm like, all right, that's not the option. And then we looked at the place that was completely customizable. And that was a couple grand a month just to customize an entire site. So like, all right, I didn't create this just thinking, oh, that's a good idea, I'm going to do it. I first wanted to see, is this already done? And we didn't find it. Even the places I see now that are competitors, I don't believe in competition. I believe in cooperation or domination. So you can either cooperate or we'll dominate, either or. Right. But then, you know, even the places now, it's still branding all about them with Nick Krem a little bit at the top. So we want to create a place that's branded entirely to you and still low cost. That's what Content Cards is. Put all of your links, your edifying videos all in one singular place. And all you got to do is remember your name.
Yeah, it's incredible. When I came upon it, I was also thinking the same thing. I was like, I need something like this, and it's not there. And in order to create it, it would be thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
right? A month. Yeah.
And then every time you had to edit it, you'd have to send them another couple for like $500 to edit like something small on the page.
Exactly, 100%. I don't know how you did it, but it's genius, and
it's done.
So, with everybody, it's super easy, and it's $20.
You know, and it's funny you say that. You know, sometimes when agents ask me, well, what's the, like, they ask me some things about social media or technology. I'm like, I could tell you, or I could just show you what to do. I'm like, I won't even tell you. Actually, I tell them, I'm not even going to tell you why. I'm just going to show you what to do. Is that all right with you? Like, yeah. Because so many times I think all these courses and things, there's so many details that just confuse you. It's like, here, what is the minimal effective dose? I learned that from Jay. He's like, give me the minimal effective dose. What do I have to do to be efficient? I'm like, crap, that's so powerful. I'm not going to spend any time teaching you why. I'm just going to show you exactly what to do. Because when you're an expert, man, I'll tell you what, I don't want to become an expert in what Jay does. That will take me years.
Right.
All I can say is, here, go learn from this guy. He already has everything laid out for you. Same thing with us. You know, I don't want agents to become an expert in what I do. I want to be the person they go to when they need answers and a solution.
100%. And that's why I have hit you up several times, because I don't need to figure it out. And as agents, I don't have time. I don't have any time.
Yes.
If you can show me, just click this button and do this thing, or send it to you, and I can pay for it, whatever, you know, I'm good. That means I can use my best talents making more money over here instead of trying to figure out a system.
Exactly. And, you know, I think we have a duty to the end user. You know, if you're spending all this time trying to become an expert in technology, are you truly the best agent? Right. And that's what I learned early on too, is, you know, I could help a terrible agent look great, but who does that really help besides myself and that agent? I'm not really helping the end user, which is the homeowner. So I have a duty and obligation to work with the best agents just like you to get you guys in front of more people. Because I think we all know that one or two, probably even more agents who aren't that great, aren't that talented or skilled, but they look great on social media, so they're getting business, right? I don't want that to happen. I want amazing agents such as yourself, DeAnn, to look amazing on social media, to take these actions, and, you know, to act where you can actually help more people buy and sell homes.
I love it. I love it. So I want to chat a little bit about Honey Badger Nation.
Woo, let's go.
Yeah. So you are mentoring like over 7,900 agents, which is crazy. You partnered up with some of the best of the best in the industry. And I know you're a dedicated Honey Badger because I know it's on your chest right there. Yes. Yeah. So how did you get partnered up with these guys, and how has that changed things for you?
So for me, you know, how did I get partnered up? It was I actually, at the call center that I started at, Al Stasic owned it. So I kind of got in like on the ground floor, I guess you could say. But, you know, from there, I went to masterminds with Al, got around people like Jay and Mike and a lot of the other great people, you know, Chuck Fazio, Veronica Figueroa, you know, just being around, you know, I know, you know, Chuck, like, they're these great, amazing leaders. You know, and I think that's the best term I could use from is they're leaders. You know, they're not the broker. They're not the person at the top that everyone just goes rah, rah, around. They are leaders creating leaders who want other people to succeed. And, you know, that's what it was. You know, these people brought me into their circle and just say, here are my problems. Can you get a solution? Great. You did. Let's get this to everybody. They're so focused on finding the solutions for these agents. That's what drew me to it. There's amazing core values in the group. I can meet a brand new Honey Badger and just know off the bat, like, man, I already know we're going to be best friends. Why? Because if you're brought into this group, you have a set of core values. I think these leaders all share, embody, and actively show the core values. So for me, I wouldn't want to be around anybody else. Look, I've worked, like I said, all across the country with a lot of different individuals. I can't even say brokerages because it's the leaders. It's the leaders that make this. It's the leaders and the people in Honey Badger Nation that I get behind. Look, EXP has amazing things. Honey Badger Nation in this group, I'll tell you what, that's what sets it apart for me.
Another level, right?
Another level, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. Your energy, if anyone hasn't seen, is off the charts.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I've been fortunate enough to meet you in person, and we spent some time together. We did a
Yes, we
live
did.
together. That was super fun.
Yeah, it was.
What drives you? What keeps you going?
Oh, that's a great question. So for me, I played a little college football and,
Mhm.
I gave up on it. I didn't want to admit at the time. I gave up, I quit because I wasn't committed enough. I
Yeah,
didn't understand where I was at, what I was doing in time. I was like 18, 19.
right, right.
So, I was more focused on having fun, not focused on what I really loved. I'll tell you what, when you lose something that you love because of yourself and the lack of commitment, man, that was the worst feeling I've ever had. Worst feeling ever. And it took me years to finally admit to myself that I gave up. I wasn't committed. I was using so many excuses. So since I realized that and found something else I'm passionate about, I promised myself it will never be, if I fail, I'm going to be 100% okay with it because I knew I gave everything I could to this. So I wake up every day, never wanted to feel that way again. So for me, that's what gives me so much more energy. Don't get me wrong. I've always had pretty good energy. It's not like this just came out of the blue. But for me to have it consistently every day, it's knowing that feeling of giving up and quitting, and it's the worst feeling ever. And like I said, failure is going to come, but it will not come from my lack of effort and commitment.
Ooh, I love that. That's a great life lesson there. Yeah. Yeah, that you use that failure to say, "Hey, I'm never going to do that to myself again."
Yeah, it will not happen because my lack of commitment. And that's where 100 0, it's actually backwards on the cam. But 100 0 is something that was introduced from Al Stasic to me. It means 100% accountability and zero excuses. And that came a time in my life where I was literally just learning that crap. That concept allowed me to learn that why I was so mad after I left Ashland, after I left that place. It's because I was giving all these excuses. I was 0 100. And like when he introduced this concept and he embodied his entire life around it, I was like, man, if he did this, if he's about these core values and he's where he's at, that's all I need to do. Follow these core values.
That's right. So, do you mind me asking how old you are?
27.
I love it. Yeah, that's awesome. So, what have you had to do? I know we chatted a little bit like about partying and that kind of stuff and drinking and what have you had to do to kind of hone yourself in and really drive yourself forward to succeed?
Yeah, so it was a simple exercise, right? So I came in like right at the end. So the Al actually hired this coach. I forget his name, but this coach to come in and really talk not even about business, but how to become better, how to physically, mentally, and everything become better. I remember there's this worksheet, right? Because I was ready to do the next step, but I was still like 21 at the time. So, I was still going out partying, doing all these things.
Yeah.
And there was this worksheet. It was, who are 5 people you should spend more time with and 5 people you should spend less time with. And it was just really simple. The concept was we already know what we should be doing, but we're just not actively doing it. And I've never wrote down 5 names, but like each one so fast. I was like, oh, that's easy. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like,
you knew
it's that simple. And I'm like, crap. Like if I just spend more time with these people and less time with these, I'll get better. And 1 month I did it, and the next month I did it again. I just wrote down 5 and 5. And I just kept going until I was like, I almost didn't even recognize my life, but it was those simple things where I already know what I should be doing, who I should spend more time with, and who I should spend less time with it. When I wrote it down, it became real, right? And I was like, crap, I didn't just say it in my head or kind of think it passing by my subconscious. I consciously wrote these names. And once I did that, I put it up on my wall. Every day I would look at it, I'm like, oh, man, and I would see the messages come in. What are you doing? You want to come to I looked at the wall, I'm like, nope, can't do it.
Well, yeah, but you disciplined yourself to do that.
Yeah. And it came out, I learned this from John Kitchens, decision-making filters. What are those decision-making filters that decide what you're going to do? And this is another John Kitchens quote too. And, these are some of the great partners that we have. John Kitchens is one of them. He said, if somebody asked me to go out and it's not a hell yeah, it's a hell no, right? Ooh. If you ask me to go out, I can't be like, hell yeah, I'm going out. I'm so excited for this. I have everything lined up and I have to think about it. Then it's a no. For me, again, that's another easy one. Like if you ask me to come out and I'm not super pumped, exhilarated to go out, then that's going to be a no.
I love that so much because we overthink everything, right? And then we're like, I hear it all the time. Should I go? Should I not go? I really rather do this or should I do that? So it's either a hell yeah or a hell no.
And, I think part of it comes down to like, man, I don't want my friends to be angry if I don't come
Yes.
out. Look, if you're
Yeah.
angry because I don't come out, I can't call you a friend.
You're not my
A
friend.
true friend would be happy for whatever decision I make. A true friend wouldn't be mad that I don't see you for 4 months. There's some people that are my best friends that I don't talk to in 4 or 5 months. Not
Right, right.
But then when you need them, they're right there.
Yep, 100%. So what is next for Nick Krem?
So, all right, first time I'm saying this on a live. So there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually, my buddy, we're just solidifying the apartment today. We're getting him an apartment in the place we're at. He's coming out to Orlando, and we are going to have 24/7 content creation. He's literally going to come around with the camera. We got the drone. We got the camera ready to go. And it's going to be, you think you see me a lot now, DeAnn? Just wait. It's going to be 24/7 content. No, we do a lot of traveling. We do a lot of events. We do a lot of things on the day-to-day that's not captured, right? So we're just going to put this content in a whole nother gear, start churning it out. Man, I'm super excited for that. And then needless to say, and then we're going to be doing a lot of partners as well. So I'm just really excited for this next content piece. And just so I always say, I'm going to do it at such a level that I'm going to solve every problem before I roll it out to the public. Because I don't want to do things half-assed. I don't want to say, I think this will work. I don't do things based on concepts. People don't pay me to tell them what should work. They pay me to tell you what will work.
Right. I love that. So I'm envisioning Nick Krem, the movie.
These little pieces. You know what? I'll drop this on here too. There may be a music video that's already created.
Oh, that may or may not be coming?
It's coming. It is definitely coming. And it's a custom music video. The music, the videos, everything is there. So
no way.
I'm not rapping. I'll just throw that out there. It's not me on the track. I just have little snippets of me.
I see myself now going, Nick, I need you to help me make my music video.
I'll tell you what, fly me out. Let's do it. Let's do an event and we'll throw it together.
Oh, now you got my wheel spinning.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. Tell me one thing you share with realtors out there. What should they be doing right now?
Video. I know it's simple, but here's what I would say. Do video. And then on top of that too, implement video messages into your business. And the two things that make a great video message, say the person's first name and never watch it before you send it.
Okay.
Say their first name in it, because so many times we get, real estate agents are put into the same boxes like a used car salesman. You look at like the surveys, we're not too far off from them in the ideals of the consumers out there. So what happens is, we get too much into these drip campaigns and, automating everything. If you're a good business owner, you have to automate everything. There are certain things that you cannot automate. You cannot automate the relationship that you build. You cannot automate yourself. But what you can do is you can do it in a way that's efficient and you can still get in front of as many people as possible. A video message only has to be 10 seconds long. Let's say, I see it in groups all the time. Oh, I had to wait 10 extra minutes for someone to come to the showing. Well, what the hell are you doing? You're going to complain about it, or you're going to send 15 video messages in that amount?
Yep, that's a great idea.
Video messages, they work better if you're on the run and you're not in the office. If I send you a video message, hey, DeAnn, I was just thinking about you. I just want to send you this video. I want to see where you're at in the process and make sure you're up to speed. And I'm sitting in a video in like an office with like a light on me. You're like, yeah, you weren't just thinking about me. You had everything set up. But, if I'm like in the car, like just waiting somewhere, hey, I was just sitting here waiting for somebody and I wanted to shoot you this message. It's more thoughtful. And people are like, man, you took time out of your busy day to send me a message. You want to talk about different from any other agent out there? Do things like that and you'll create a relationship. We always say the difference between a contact and a contract is the letter R, the relationship you have with them. You want to get more contracts? Form better relationships.
Wow. A lot of stuff there. I appreciate it.
That's what we do.
So where can everybody find you? How can they get all this info from you?
NickKrem.com. You guys go to NickKrem.com. We got over 8 hours of free real estate training on there about branding and growing your team, growing your brand. If you're a solo agent, new agent, team leader, go to NickKrem.com. We have free training. We have our services, anything else that you guys will need for that.
All right. Thanks, Nick, so much for taking time with us today and for always being willing just to share so much and provide value to everybody out there.
I'm super excited too, DeAnn, for what you have coming. I'm excited for everything that you do too. Everything that you do for the real estate industry. It's really appreciated. And let's crush this year.
All right. Thanks, Nick. I'll talk to you soon.
Yep. We'll see ya.
All right.